Hi there, welcome back to Ruby's Vocal Lessons, and today we are jumping straight back into the final grade 5 piece, Shake It Off by Taylor Swift. This is a technical focus for grade 5 Trinity College, which means that it is technically more difficult than the other pieces we have done. However, you'll be happy to hear that it's not as sad, it's not as emotional, and we're going to be very positive today. So I always do an overview on my two-part videos, so we're going to jump straight in, overview. I do tend to make all of these for the teaching I do, as it sets the tone for the hardest parts of the piece that you may find difficult. It should also make it easier for you to pick out what you need to learn and what you need to improve on. So this song revolves around the things in life that may trouble you and that you encounter. Shake them off and move on. It is set quite positive, so we're going to be keeping in that positive mindset, and we're going to be wanting to keep the positive tone the whole way through when we are singing. So the first one we're going to be looking at is breathing placements. One of the hardest parts about this song is the breathing. It is very fast flowing. I stay out too late, got nothing in my brain. It's quite fast. You've got to keep it up, you've got to have good lungs, and this is what we want. So it's hard to keep it up sometimes and find the right places to breathe. Like I've said, my one advice to give when looking at breathing is get the lyrics printed off, mark your breathing placements in, and have them in front of you when you're watching these videos. It is going to help, I promise you it is going to help. When singing this piece, we need to know when we're going to breathe so that we don't sound breathless. It's not going to sound great if you're heavy breathing and trying to pull yourself back into it every so often. You're going to want to keep it up. Number 2 is pitching. Pitching is another part of this piece that we do need to look at. The song does jump in quite high, so it does run a risk of coming in flat sometimes, which is not what we want. We don't want to go, I stay out too late. You don't want to be jumping in like that, do you? So we need to make sure that we are using the appropriate tone to achieve this. I suggest mixed voice or head voice depending on your range. Me personally, I will always use a head voice for this song. I can't belt it. You guys might be able to do that, and we can achieve it together through brilliant exercises that we can go through. So I stay out too late, got nothing in my brain. You want to hold your diaphragm as hard as you can for these parts. There's some lines in the piece that can prove difficult for pitching. For example, in the chorus, because the player's gotta play, 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 play. That's quite low, and you need to keep the pitch all the way down the ladder. But again, imagine the ladder's in front of you, and you're going down them steps. The pitching does descend each time you go down, landing a little bit lower than what may be comfortable, but we are going to use techniques to approach this together. Number 3, clarity. Clarity is another thing we need to look at. This is because the song is quite fast. We need to make sure that we are pronunciating the words correctly and not shortening them because we are out of breath or we want to jump to the next line. We can use appropriate vowel techniques for this and make sure that the words are heard clearly. So, like I said, on my warm-up video, I do have 3 warm-ups that I've intended to help with these songs, which is a breathing warm-up, a pitching warm-up, and a clarity vowel warm-up. If you are struggling with the vowels, I suggest you hop over there and do have a look. So now we have gone through the overview, let's have a look at the song. So we're going to jump straight into the first verse. So like I did mention in the overview, the first verse does come in quite high. I stay out too late. But right in. So it does make the pitching slightly difficult to start with. However, with practice, we can try and eliminate this from the start. So just do this for me. Ah! If you do it together, I stay out too late. So you start on that note and just hold it. That's your note. I stay out too late, got nothing in my brain. That's what people say. Ooh, ooh. That's what people say. Ooh, ooh. You're always on that note, so if you find that note, it's going to make your life so much easier. So just do this again for me. If you're struggling, pause this here and keep repeating that until you feel comfortable. So the first verse is quite short. All the verses are quite short actually, so they're very similar and repetitive. So you're going to find me repeating the same things quite a few times, but this is going to help you when learning. So the second verse is the same as the first verse. The main thing to look at is the pitching and making sure you have marked this correctly. I stay out too late, got nothing in my brain. That's what people say. That's what people say. I go on too many dates, but I can make them stay. At least that's what people say. It's exactly the same. So once you've got one, you've got the other really. Keep it nice and upbeat to portray the rest of the song. When you're singing it, you can have a little side step, anything that can keep you positive while you're doing it. Just make sure that you've got that posture though. We want the posture nice and straight. Stretch the lungs. Make sure the diaphragm's warmed up so that we can get prepared for this one. The bridge. This is where range can come in, which can also be a hot spot for some students. It does stay on the higher part of the scale, so I do suggest that if you struggle singing this in a chest voice, resort to your head voice. There is nothing wrong with that. I do use head voice most of the time with songs like this. There is also the pitching that does jump around a little bit. Make sure to keep the clarity in your voice. So we are looking at the bridge. But I keep cruising, can't stop, won't stop. That's the part where it does jump, so just do this with me. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop moving. You're going to want that ladder again. I know I'll repeat myself a lot, but it's a great technique to use. Can't stop, won't stop moving. Like I've got this music in my mind saying it's gonna be alright. There we go. It does jump around a little bit, but you will approach that by practicing and looking at the ladder. Make sure to keep the clarity in your voice and pronounce the words correctly. So, but I keep cruising. You don't want to be going cruising. But I keep Try and open your mouth a little bit. But I keep cruising. Can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I've got this music. You can hear it better, and it's on a belt because you've got more space in your mouth. So we've reached the first chorus. This is where it starts to get a little bit tricky and the breathing placements start to become difficult, but we're going to do it together. It is quite fast, so we're looking at, cause the player's gonna play, and the hater's gonna hate, baby. I'm just gonna shake it off. So it even gets lower than the play, so it's, cause the player's gonna play, and you did right down there to get back up again. So just do this with me. Play, cause the player's gonna play, play. Keep going and listen to that back if you are struggling. It's the best way to do it. Just keep marking it in your brain for me. Use that head voice and we will get there, I promise. So there is some lines in which the pitch is typically more difficult, like I said, the play lines, but once you've marked it in your brain and you've imagined the ladder, you will get better. So we're into the third verse now. The third verse is exactly the same as the other two. The song is quite repetitive, so again you are going to find me repeating myself. However, it's important to know each verse as it comes so that you can know how to approach it. So, like, let's look at the verses again. I stay out too late. We're doing that again, just the jumps. Got nothing in my brain. That's what people say. That's what people say. So it's exactly the same. And there's exactly the same again as we learnt it from the first one. However, the notes do go up on the end of the last line. So keep the same advice given and make sure you are watching your pitching as you go. I do have exercises for this on my warm-up videos. So, but I keep cruising, can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I've got this music in my mind saying it's gonna be alright. So open your mouth up and aim for your cheeks when you're singing in a head voice. You want to feel it up here, nice and bright. It's gonna be alright. You want it sitting here. So if you just do this for me, alright. Pause it here now if you want to keep going through that, and then play it when you're ready. So we're on to the second chorus. This is exactly the same as the first chorus. Just keep going with them breathing placements and the pitching. It is a difficult song, I know, but it's positive. It's what we want. So again, Play, 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 and the haters gonna hate, 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 baby. I would suggest keeping this right as well, because the player's gonna play, 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 and the haters gonna hate. You do look a bit scary when you're doing it, but because your cheeks are nice and high, you're getting the sound from up here, which is what we want. So make sure you be careful of the clarity again, making sure the words are heard even though they are fast. So this is where we move on to part 2. Thank you for watching part 1, and hop back over if you're ready to learn the rest.